Hey everybody, welcome to the 66th, you heard me right, the 66th edition of Animated Girls Profile Confidential. We're looking at a girl, you pretty much see the title or the name of the character below. It is none other than Lana Lionheart. Now, in case you guys may not know who Lana Lionheart is, I'll give you the quick skimmy. Lana Lionheart was a featured character in the 1990s, in the 1999, I should say, in the 1998 to 1999, mostly 1999 to 2000 MGM animated series that aired on weekend mornings. For me, it was Sundays and sometimes occasionally Saturdays. Others, it was Saturdays and sometimes it was Sundays. But I think they did go to Saturdays. I'm not really sure, but mostly it was Saturday and Sunday. I think honestly, now that I think about it, it was Saturdays and then occasionally on Sundays. But anyway, Lana Lionheart was a featured character in the Lionhearts series. Now, her role, of course, was that of a mother. She was the mother and the wife of the Lionheart family. She was the wife of Leo Lionheart, who was basically the animated version of MGM's lion mascot. She was the mother of 3 kids, the oldest being her daughter Kate, the second oldest being their son Spencer, and the youngest being Judy Lionheart. So, what is it about Lana that makes me want to talk about her and add her to this series in this newest edition, this newest episode? Well, quite simply because she's a fun character. She's a very fun character. Her background is actually interesting because in the series, she's given the background of an acrobat. She was basically, from what I understand, from what I could tell in the series, an very outstanding, standout, anthropomorphic, lioness of an acrobat. And I just heard something over there. I don't know what that was. But like I said, she was somebody was screaming. Teenagers. But anyway, she was a acrobatic, very standout, acrobatic-like character for the circus she was involved in. As a matter of fact, there was a human character in her past life as an acrobat named Carlos that had a thing for her. And I guess you can kind of look at that as furry interspecies kind of deal, whatever. But yeah, Lana Lionheart used to be an acrobat for the circus, and she's basically carried that on into her life afterwards. As a matter of fact, sometimes some of the things she does around the house, she uses her skills as an acrobat in the circus to do so. As a matter of fact, in the first episode, to show that her mom is cool, Kate asked her mom to put on a little acrobatic performance for her friends. And she did that. All because Kate spoke very highly of her mom and what she used to do. Now, Lana would not just use her acrobatic skills for that one moment. There were also other moments throughout the series. I mean, mostly sometimes she would just use her acrobatic skills to play with her daughter Judy, and just have fun around the house, if you will. There's times she would use her acrobatic skills to make her husband feel better, when he was down on his luck. And there are times when, like, I think it could be dubbed as the series finale, the 2-parter, called Don't Bug the Neighbors. I think that was the title of it. She uses her acrobatic skills on the diving board. So, overall, besides that, what makes Lana so cool? Well, what makes her cool, in my opinion, is the way she was portrayed is as a parental figure that's very loving, very caring, very supportive, very protective of her family. There's many episodes that kind of definitely show that, especially the episode where they move from the house into another house because the owner of that house is giving it away for free. No rent, no mortgage, no nothing. And it's just, and at first it's like, wow, this is a dream come true. It's got everything we need, space, whatever. But it becomes basically too much for Lana to kind of handle, and realization or reality kind of starts to sink in on her that even though this is a nice house and it's got everything they want, it's basically dividing the family, and she starts to miss her family because the rooms are like on opposite sides of the house. So anyway, long story short, she, along with the kids who are also feeling the same way, basically decide, and the husband, Leo, agrees with them finally, who at first Leo was the one that was against it. Then he kind of accepted it and kind of started to enjoy it and realized that, maybe living in this house is a great idea, but it doesn't have the same nostalgia, have the same, closeness and warmth that the original house did. So they ended up moving back. Now, sorry about that. Now, like I said, Lana could be looked at that way as well. But I think the reason she is kind of a very popular character with fans, even 20 years after the series ended, yes, it's been 20 years, and I'll talk about that as well down the line. But even though the series ended 20 years, debuted and ended 20 years ago, the reason she's looked at probably more so and recognized more so than the rest of her family is because she's a very relatable character that, despite her age, can understand the new generation, the current generation, like the young kids, the teens. It's like she gets it. She understands what makes them tick, what makes them want to do this or want to do that. And honestly, it may not show. You may say, "Oh, it's not really showing that much in the series." Maybe not, but there are certain moments in the series that kind of indicate that she does understand where the kids are coming from, like where her kids themselves are coming from when it comes to, basically, wanting to be hip and with it. I mean, a good example of this is when Kate decided to change her hairstyle because her ears, she felt, were too big, and she was embarrassed by this. And of course, that's basically a growth situation. It's like you're growing up, you want to change up how you look a little bit to see if maybe you could seem older, seem more hip, whatever. And Lana was the one that was very supportive of it. And encouraged Judy to do it. She even was the one that came up with the plan to allow Kate, I should say, Kate, her oldest child, I should say, who was going through this awkward phase where, she felt like I said, her ears were embarrassing to have, and she wanted to hide them, so she wanted to try a new hairstyle. So, basically, long story short, as I was saying, Lana's the one that encourages Kate to go to school with this new hairstyle, with this new look. And, as a matter of fact, we find out when Leo calls her on the phone while he's driving, which obviously they would not have a scene like that today in any kind of show, animated or otherwise. Well, maybe live action. But anyway, when Leo calls her up while he's driving, we find out that she's the one that came up with the idea to allow Kate to go to school with this look, because she believes that it's going to help Kate realize that, look, there's nothing really wrong with the way you look, sound, or act. There's nothing really wrong with that. And and then perhaps, hearing it from not just the family, but from her own friends and all that would make her realize, okay, maybe my ears aren't as bad as they seem to be, and maybe I should try to be myself. But that's one example in my opinion. In my opinion, that you could tell she's the kind of character that had the series expanded even more so, had maybe more episodes, an additional season, she'd probably be the kind of character that, as we've seen in shows like with Goof Troop, with Peg, Pete's wife in that series, as we've seen there, as we've seen with other shows, very similar. She's the kind of mom that, again, like I said, had the Lionhearts continued on, would have been the kind of character that, if given the chance, as to really show it, would have basically shown that she understands what this new generation of kids, youngsters are into. She can understand them, and she would basically try to maybe try to, what's the word I'm looking for? Try to get with it to kind of have a better understanding. But anyway, besides that, if you have not seen The Lionhearts, I suggest watching it. And I suggest watching it especially when it comes to Lana, because again, she's the kind of character that, even though people might say she really didn't do much as people might think, she did a lot more than you think. She's got an interesting backstory, like I said, and if you look real closely, you could tell she's the kind of character that really understands the current generation, like the new younger generation of kids and teens and all that, and what they're into. Oh, and by the way, she's voiced by Peter Giplin. I can't pronounce the name, I do apologize. The lady that played Roz in Frasier. Yeah, that's the person that voices Lana Lionheart, the woman that played Roz on Frasier. So, and she does a great job. She does a terrific job. So, that's really all I could say for Lana Lionheart on this 66th edition of the Animated Girls Profile Isles, which I am doing on location from my job because I'm off early today. But let me know what you guys think down below. Comment if you like. I'd love to hear what your thoughts are. And I will talk to y'all later. Thank you all for listening and watching.